Hello everyone. Today we're going to be discussing a very common experience or concept that people have when they travel overseas and then return back to their home country. This can happen in short-term missions, long-term missions, really any period of time that you're abroad, and that is called reverse culture shock. So, reverse culture shock is the term used to describe the feeling of confusion or uncomfortability, maybe, of returning back to your home country after being abroad. And although this experience is usually much more severe in those who have lived in another country for a multitude of years and then return back to their home country, it still can occur when you're gone, even just for a few days. So, what's common for us as followers of Christ, and what I've personally experienced as well, is that the disorientation and discomfort comes from the abundance of essentials and the comforts that we have usually in our home country. So, for example, with Advance the Faith, our main mission is internationally, is in the Bahamas and in Haiti. And in these countries, they just might not have access to some things that we are used to in the United States. For example, you may have experienced a mission trip that we went on with no air conditioning, and that is just maybe the norm in these countries. Another example, having water that's clean that you can drink out of the faucet is just not the norm in some places in these countries, and it is the norm in the United States. And so these are just small examples of things that just might be different. So after experiencing these new cultures and meeting new people and building beautiful relationships, and coming back home to the United States, it can be hard to be comfortable in an air conditioning and not think about those who may not have these things. And as a result of this, it's not uncommon to feel just almost like disgust towards the country that you live in and the abundance and excess that we have. I mean, I know I keep going back to the air conditioning thing, but I think about how hot it gets in Florida where I live, and how when I'm hot outside, I just know I can go inside and I'll feel better because I'll have AC. This is just not the reality in a lot of these places that we serve, but also in Haiti especially. Like, these kids don't have food every day sometimes, and that's heartbreaking, and it's sad, and it's hard to know that I have access to these things and that others may not. Another common emotion that you may be experiencing is loneliness in your expression of these feelings you're having. Not everyone you're around every day went on that trip with you, and to be able to express these feelings may be hard because they really just might not be understanding what you're going through in this moment as you reflect on the trip you just experienced. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is that if you're experiencing these emotions, and even more maybe that I haven't mentioned, you're not alone. This is normal, and it's hard, and it causes a lot of questions, but it's a normal part of going on trips like this. But don't be in despair, because we have ways that you can continue to be involved in the lives of these people that you've met. We have ways that you can work through these things. We'd love to work through them with you. So I just want to list a few just possible ways you can continue on in this journey. So first, I encourage you just to reflect on your experience on the trip. Ask why you went on this trip. Why did God put you on this trip? What did God do through you as you were on that trip, and what did you experience God working in the people there? Secondly, I encourage you to reflect on what God is doing in you now after the trip. What emotions are you experiencing? If you're experiencing reverse culture shock, to what extent? And what can you do to use these emotions to further glorify God and continue to grow His kingdom? Another question I want you to reflect on and think of is why do we do trips like these in the first place? Why do we go to places that may be uncomfortable or difficult for us in the moment to share the love of God? Why do we go build these relationships with people from other cultures and areas? And lastly, I just encourage you to stay connected with Advance of Faith, whether that be giving financially if you feel called, whether that be giving your time, whether that just be praying for the ministry that we do and for the people that we serve. I just really encourage you to stay connected. And that is all I have for you today. I hope that this video was encouraging to some extent, helped you work through some questions you may have. And of course, if there's anything else that you're struggling with, feel free to reach out. We would love to be there for you.